I'd figure it'd pause YouTube, see if you guys have any questions. You guys, as a horror aficionado, as basically anything, especially if you have questions about what it means to be transgender or pansexual. I'm opening this up to a conversation. Any question, obviously I'll get your questions through the device here, but any question that you have, I will gladly take a look at and answer any questions. If you guys haven't checked me out, I am on YouTube. If you're not watching on YouTube, if you're watching here on the PlayStation Network, on YouTube at www.youtube.com/C/Sasha, the Princess of Darkness, hence all of these wonderful logos. The logos, by the way, are done by my buddy, Johnny Blaze. If you don't know who he is, look him up. He does a lot of pinup artwork, things of that nature. So definitely somebody worth checking out, somebody worth looking into. So if you get a second, pop on Facebook. There's Johnny Blaze fan page. It's on there. It's just John, John, middle initial E, Blaze, Blaze. So yes, kind of like the comic book, but not exactly spelled out that way. If you guys haven't seen, I do have a couple new episodes up in honor of St. Patrick's Day. So, if you haven't seen the Leprechaun 2 review, just finished another Alien review. So, if you guys saw the first Alien movie, I did a sequel, kinda, to it, which deals with the unofficial sequel, Alien, and that'll be coming on YouTube here soon. So I see that there's 3 of you. If you have any questions, definitely pop on in, ask away. I'll answer anything as long as you're not being a jerk about it. So feel free. What's been going on lately? We definitely just had a huge meeting with an organization I run as a charity, trying to get Pride in my small little town to happen this June. We've got all kinds of great events planned, so if you guys happen to be in the Pennsylvania area, you're familiar with the town of Chambersburg, that's where I live. But basically we're going to have our first ever Pride. Granted, right now it's kind of at a very unofficial capacity, but I'm excited. We've got a local bar that's hosting us for some events in the evening. If you want something more adult-oriented, by all means, they'll be available. We do have some art showings. There's going to be a walk, all kinds of great things. So again, definitely something if you're in the area you want to check it out. Kind of a redneck town, but I'm changing that one person at a time to say, hey, the community's here, we're queer, get over it, so to speak. All right, 4 of you. So how's it going, guys? I saw that you just popped in. Any questions, just type away, ask away. I'm more than glad to answer them. Just don't be offended if I don't see your question or if I'm being polite and ignoring the question, so to speak. But yeah, that's what I figured I'd do tonight. Have a little bit of time, maybe like 15-20 minutes, depending on who wants to interact. Other reviews that are coming, I know somebody had asked me if I'm going to do another Tourist of Terror episode recently. That is coming, so he's not dead, unfortunately. But he'll be back to review Wheeled Warriors. If you've never heard of Wheeled Warriors, you'll learn all about it, and it's a fantastic mess. I had a toy line. It was funny because the toy line happened first, but the problem is the cartoon that the toy line was based on had nothing to do with the toy line at all, or vice versa. It's all very interesting, so we'll have a review on that. Alien franchise reviews are continuing. Obviously, I'm going to hit all the highlights. Aliens eventually is coming up. I had to take a pause on that because Bill Paxton had passed, so I wanted to rethink what I was saying or what I was doing with it. Outside of that, we're going to have Alien 3, Alien Resurrection, fucking Prometheus, oh dear lord, I don't even want to review that movie. And then of course, may touch on the new film when it comes out. I think that's in either May on YouTube, youtube.com/C/Sasha, the Princess of Darkness. Again, it's all the logos, which I can actually manipulate this time, which I couldn't the other time. And learn something interesting with basically this program. Apparently, Sony has copyright strikes on the music you can use for this, hence the silence. So, again, I apologize. I know I could queue up Pain, but I don't want to freak YouTube out over it. So, yeah, it is what it is. The internet connection quality currently not sufficient to broadcast gameplay. Well, we'll go in and we'll try to edit that. But I'll be right back. So don't go anywhere. If you're still watching, I will... Well, I guess that problem resolved itself. I'm still in the air. Anyway, I see there's 5 of you. Thank you for joining. Again, don't be shy. I don't bite. I'm transgender. I won't attack anybody. Yes, there are scary people, but I'm not one of them. I'm actually a pretty easy-go-lucky kind of gal. So, anyway, open for questions. Otherwise, I'm going to just keep blathering on and letting you enjoy my new boots, which I absolutely love. Picked them up at Target recently. Normally, these go for like $60. I got them for 15, so... Hey, can't beat a bargain where you can. And I know some of you are like, oh, what's the outfit? What's the outfit? Okay, see, little tiny skirt, got my Pain shirt on. Yes, EM unfortunately is on the floor. I'll grab him here. We were just shooting the Alien 2 review. No, not Alien, seriously, Alien 2. Anyway, so, 4 of you. Yay! So who has a question? Question. I know you all have questions. Usually you guys aren't this quiet. Usually. So we're waiting. And I'm going to turn this noise down because I hate the way it talks. If you guys ever done this live stream kind of thing, you'll notice that sometimes if you got it on your phone, it'll talk, it'll spell everything out. I have to go into settings and figure out how to fix that because, man, that voice is annoying. It's not like Cortana. It's not like any of that stuff. So, yeah. Recent pickups. I recently picked up the new Doctor Strange. I don't know if anybody's seen the original Doctor Strange. I know I'm old as shit, but there was one in the 70s on television. Basically, it was a TV movie done by the same people who did The Incredible Hulk, things of that nature in the 70s and 80s. And it was really interesting. If you have that on DVD and Blu-ray, which is weird, and the quality of the picture was never great. He does, of course, have his magic abilities, the cape, yeah, but it's very different. It kind of, instead of a Tibetan kind of Asian feel to it, you've got basically more of a Merlin, Knights of the Round Table feel to it. It's very different. But if you get a chance, definitely check it out. It's fun to kind of compare the original to the new one. Thinking about reviewing the old one, but I haven't touched on that yet. I'm considering it. Right now, as I've said, if you've been watching this whole time, we actually just got done with reviewing Leprechaun 2, because we try to do a new Leprechaun movie every year. Last year we did Leprechaun, the original Leprechaun, and then of course the remake, Leprechaun Origins, which really has nothing to do with each other. It could be completely 2 different movies that just happen to have leprechauns on them and 2 very different ideas as to what leprechauns are. So, yeah, it's definitely worth checking out. That, the Alien review, my tribute to Bill Paxton. We also did a tribute to Carrie Fisher, so definitely something to check out. If y'all haven't heard, poor Stan Lee, he's sick recently. He's been canceling a lot of appearances in basically, comic shows, conventions, things of that nature. I really honestly hope nothing happens. I hope he's just sick, and hopefully this year can kind of skip over Stan Lee passing. I know George Lucas has even had the same problem with Lucas. Basically, he's had that chronic cough ever since the prequels came out, and yeah, that would be a weird one to lose during this year. And hopefully we don't lose Stan Lee. I love seeing his cameos in anything that's Marvel. So there's that. Other news that we have out there, basically I am, as you can see, I've doubled down on videos recently. Granted, I don't do the live thing as often as I should. It's great because it brings in new viewers. The last big live I did, granted, yes, I ran for about an hour until somebody threw a hissy fit about it, but anyways, it's great because, hey, it is what it is. But I'm going to try to do some more of these live things. I may do a Let's Play later. So I may play Battleborn. I just picked that up from Redbox. If you guys don't know, pro tip when it comes to gaming and finding deals on cheap games, go to your Redbox. There's a little area in Redbox. I want to say it's toward the bottom right when you're in there. It says buy. You can go in and actually buy pre-owned video games. The problem of it is sometimes you're going to get a clunker, but I've gotten games out of that box for like between anywhere from as little as $3 or $4, and I'm not talking rent, I'm talking to buy, to as much as $10. I was looking at the latest, I think it's Far Cry Primal. That was on there, and they wanted like $28 for it used, but that's only been out, what, maybe 3-4 months at most. But even at $28 and some change after taxes, that's not bad. I picked up Battleborn. I spent $9 on it. Granted, I've seen it used on Amazon because I usually shop Amazon used, and I also shop eBay. I try to stay out of the auctions. I try to go to Buy It Now to get a real gauge on prices. But the problem of it is that with Buy It Now, you're never getting a realistic thing. So I always try to compare. Oh, Primal sucks. Thank you for letting me know, DMK. I was considering it. $28 seems kind of steep. I'm a budget gamer at the end of the day. I would rather basically pick up something dirt cheap and enjoy the piss out of it than I would pick up something, for almost $30 and absolutely hate it. So thank you. I'm not going to pick up Primal. I did pick up, like I said, Battleborn. It's not as bad as people said, but for $9, you can't really beat that. I recently got, and you're going to laugh, the Ghostbusters game on basically the PlayStation 4, which was like $5. And granted, it's cheesy, but it was one of those time killers where you spent $5 because you pay on Redbox, what, $3 to rent a game now, maybe more, and that's by the day. Yeah, when you spend like $5, to rent the game, to buy the game versus paying $3 to rent it, I mean, you really haven't really lost out. Far Cry 4 is better. I really never tried a lot of the Far Cry games. I know Far Cry originally was out, and you can correct me if I'm wrong here, I think that the first one was either PlayStation 2 or PlayStation 3. I dabbled in it a little bit, but it never really caught my interest. I did like the idea and the advertising for, I think it was either the third or the fourth one, where you get to play it, where you deal with this villain and you can actually beat the game by just sitting there and leaving. That one seemed really interesting. I don't know how I feel about Far Cry. I might rent it and try it out first. But thank you for the warning on Primal. I'll definitely give Far Cry 4 a shot. But as I was saying, best way to get cheap games if you're a bargain hunter like I am, hit up the Redbox. You can actually... 7 Days to Die. As in a movie, or is this a game? DMK, you'll have to come back to me on that one. Don't think I've heard of 7 Days to Die. I remember a TV show back when I was in high school called Dead by 30 or something like that, or Dead by 18. I think it was an MTV thing. That's the only thing I remember, or Logan's Run. That's a game. Okay. No, I haven't heard of that one. I want to play that horror game that deals with... That deals with... It's on the tip of my tongue. Wendigo. That I want to play. Something light? I don't know. I may be wrong. It's got a skull on the cover of it, but that's something I've been searching around for on the cheap. I know that's been out a while, so I definitely want to pick that up. Looking for Resident Evil 7 for dirt cheap. But yeah, it came out same time as Call of Duty. Yeah, I'm not familiar. I'm sorry, DMK. You kind of lost me there. I game, but I'm not big into the shooters. You gotta have something special in that shooter to really, really drag me into it. Like, I love, for example, of course, Battleborn. I just recently picked that up, and Borderlands. Granted, those are both Gearbox, but Borderlands is awesome. I'm really excited to hear they got a Borderlands 3 coming out. That has made me extremely excited. I'm glad that here on PlayStation 4 they have the Borderlands 2 as well as like the pre-sequel kind of mix like setup that you can get on one disc. I picked that up dirt cheap recently. It's nice to revisit it. It's kind of hard because like I was seeing somebody when it first came out and I never finished it. So now I'm trying to finish it, and I don't blame the game. The game's great, but trying to finish the sequel now just it brings back feels, let's put it that way. Stuff that I'm not ready to deal with yet, but I think I'll try to give it another go at some point. The pre-sequel I haven't touched yet. I figure I'll power through Borderlands 2 before I touch on the pre-sequel. It's like Minecraft, more realistic. Oh, okay, now I know what you're talking about. That's not on PlayStation 4, is it? I don't think. I mean, I'll have to check it out. Normally, I try to get as much disc-based as I can, because granted, I am running a pretty decent-sized hard drive on this, but I don't want to overburden it. And granted, yes, I know when you get a disc game, it already pre-installs a bunch of the game, files and software and things of that nature. I was going through my files the other day, blew my mind that Fallout 4, that takes up 50 gigs just in storage space, just having it on the system. And I'm like, holy crap. Borderlands 2 better than pre-sequel. Yeah, PS4. Okay, so yeah, I mean, I love Borderlands 2. It's just, when you co-op and you couch co-op with somebody, it's one of those things where, I'm being a little, how can I put it this, a little emotional about it, but, when you had that person there to play that game with, it was an experience. And I know a lot of people get connections with online gaming. I grew up in the age of couch co-op. Couch co-op to me was such a big deal. And it was cool to be in a relationship with somebody and share my video game interests with them, but it kind of dreads me on picking that back up again. It's just really, yeah, I wish it did come out with Borderlands. Oh my god, I am so glad you said that. With the talk of Borderlands 3, there have been rumors about a remaster of Borderlands, which would be nice, but there's a lot of technicalities with it, because the guy who played Scooter, actually, I want to either said had a stroke or died or something of that nature, so I can understand why Gearbox is kind of leery of it. But let's be frank, I mean, if he did have something happen to him, I mean, that revenue would be great for him. And then on top of that, they can take the original audio and just remaster it. You don't have to have him come back in to redo dialogue. It shouldn't be that hard. You would think with nowadays everybody archives and saves everything, how hard would it be to pull that audio and do a remastered version of it? So, Gearbox, on the off chance that you're watching, I would love to see that. Please, Andy Pitchford, let's make this happen. But I don't see it happening. Remaster, hell yeah. Catch a ride. I love that. That was like my favorite part of it. It took me back to that, and I want to say that Scooter was kind of, well, given the name, Scooter was kind of a, take on Cooter from, of course, Dukes of Hazzard, which, of course, was a, believe it or not, a remake to another movie, which was Moonrunners. Few people talk about Moonrunners. It drives me up the wall. I loved Moonrunners as a kid. It's like Dukes of Hazzard, but darker. I mean, Uncle Jesse dies in that movie. So if you've never seen it, try to find it. I've seen some bootlegs of it out there, but I'd really love Shout or Warner Brothers to get off their ass and say, here's Moonrunners in Blu-ray, deal with it. Because you don't get to see those 70s car chase movies anymore. They're great. Granted, tangent, and I'm sorry, but we were sitting here talking about Scooter, and it just popped into my head. I'm like, ooh, Cooter. So, yeah, thank you for that. I played the Sniper as well with the Bloodwing. It was weird because with the original Borderlands, I was nuts about shotguns and pistols, and yet, ironically, I played as the Sniper. I can't make sense of that. And a lot of people have gone, well, Sasha, why would you play as the sniper? And I'm like, well, it's kind of like when I play Borderlands 2. And like I said, I'm going to get back into it, I promise. I might even do Let's Play and a live stream of it. But Borderlands 2, I played as the Necromancer. And I think what it is because I like the fact that you have either in the original Borderlands Bloodwing, or you have the killer robot with the Necromancer in Borderlands 2, and that was like my favorite class to play as. Granted, in Borderlands 1 you could cheat your ass off playing as the Siren. Borderlands 2 was kind of a little bit more balanced. But yeah, I wonder if they ever remastered, do you think they would correct some of those unbalances? Bonuses where if you pre-bought, you would automatically get the character when released. But by then, I was already playing as Zero, and it was kind of funny because as soon as I got the Necromancer, I went back. Yeah, I like Zero. Zero was the character that kind of stood out to me. Definitely, that was one of my handles back in the day when I was when old ass Java chat. It was I had Zero spelled out with a zero instead of an O at the end. Yeah, dorky shit from back in the day. We had this thing called Chat House. It was funny. It wasn't like chats and Apple Chat that you have now where it scrolls up and down and constantly scrolls. You had to keep refreshing the browser like every 5 minutes to see if somebody left a new comment. It was definitely different time. Damn, I'm carbon dating myself here. I old as fuck. But yeah, I always was kind of drew to Zero. I kind of like that concept. I haven't played the Horizon Zero Dawn. No, I haven't touched that one. No clue what that is. Is that the one with all the weird tech dinosaurs and shit? That looks interesting. I'm curious. My buddy got Wind Waker on the Switch. Or not Wind Waker, Breath of the Wild. That's been interesting because I've been going over to their place and playing that whenever I can, which is kind of funny because I'm bogarting their Switch. But it's definitely a great game, especially like some of these temples and everything else. It's finally an open world game. So I was curious about Horizon Zero Dawn. I'm hoping that it's kind of an open world game. I love games where they kind of just thrust you into it and say, here you go, have at, find out what it is. You're from Tasmania. Oh, that's cool, Naughty. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. If you see any of the Tasmanian tigers, let me know, because I hear that they're rare. I think the only places I haven't been is Australia. I want to fix that. And Antarctica, which, as you can imagine, kind of hard to fix. But I know they have an Air Force base there, and believe it or not, they have a bank. I want to go. As terrible as it sounds, I want to check it out. Zero Dawn is open world? Well, that's good. That's awesome. I love open world games. I'm curious about Skyrim since they have that remastered edition here on PlayStation 4. I just don't know if it's my kind of game, because I know I had friends that played Morrowind constantly, and the other games in that series, I'm trying to think of the name of the series, Elder Scrolls, but I just don't know if it's something I'm going to dig. I mean, I love the new Fallout 4, I've been playing that on repeat. Like my favorite games right now, because when my older son's over, we like to play that new Transformers game, the Transformers Devastation. That's a great game. I love the cell shading. I love the fact that it harkens back to the stuff from my childhood at G1, and the play mechanics are okay. Which is weird because outside of the Cybertron games, the War of Cybertron, and the other one, I can't think of it, Fall of Cybertron, War and Fall, outside of those games, most of the other Transformers games haven't been that great. They've been pretty shoddy. And I'd love to see like an open world Transformers game, but I don't foresee that happening. And as long as it's not set in the Bay universe, I would be, positive. Louis, this isn't a strip show, but I can show you the outfit. Would that be okay? Is that fine? So we'll show you the outfit. So, trying to turn around, buy sign, but yeah. That's what I'm wearing. I had a meeting today, and I had to shoot a new episode, so that's why I'm all gussied up at the moment, now in my sweatpants. Skyrim is good. I got it when GameStop, okay, was selling for $30 on Black Friday. Yeah, sometimes GameStop can have good deals like that. It's definitely an interesting thing. So, yeah, GameStop can sometimes have good prices. I'm not a fan of them. I usually find that 9 times out of 10 I buy something there, and here I found it on Amazon a lot cheaper later. It's kind of irksome, to say the least. I mean, they're great for trade-ins and dumping old games that you don't want to do anything with. But I've always had buyer's remorse after doing that. I don't know if that's buyer's remorse or not, but when you trade in a game and you get next to nothing back out of it, it kind of sucks. Unless the game is fairly new. I miss my Nintendo. I sold that ages and ages and ages ago to a guy that was actually local that did games. Because here, where I'm from, the Chambersburg area, we do have some mom and pop game shops, which is nice, and to see them on the rise is even better. Hell, we even just got a recent like hobby store that opened up that's exclusively for like miniatures, Magic the Gathering, Dungeons and Dragons, and stuff of that nature. And it's so cool because, you know, that is, dude, is that someone's sister? Oh, your buyer's remorse was No Man's Sky. Yeah. Buyer's remorse is definitely something that's interesting. Well, No Man's Sky is something that's interesting, and I've been trying to pick it up for cheap. I know a lot of people hated the game because they were expecting more out of it than what they actually got. But the caveat there is that, you know, sometimes you gotta take a gamble. And I know a lot of times when they advertise games and things of that nature, you're expecting a lot more than what you got. D&D, Magic the Gathering, that's my shit. How do I... Lewis, seriously, man, if you want that, there's this place called Chatterbait. I recommend you check that out. I'm not on there, but it might be up your alley. So, yeah, so there's their free plug for the day. But trust me, I get to... Hi, how are you doing? I'm doing well, Sea Chicken. Does that mean you're tuna? Just curious. But doing great. Yeah, Lewis, Google.com, search porn. It's the internet. Yeah, no kidding. You know, just because, and I've got nothing wrong with the sex industry. I'll be the first person to tell you that. I don't personally work for it. Just because I'm transgender does not immediately equate me as part of the sex industry. Sorry to say, that's not how it works. And I kind of am getting ready to do an episode on that. But the kicker of it is just because I'm trans doesn't mean I work for the sex industry. There's nothing wrong with the sex industry, but don't assume. Yes, I dress a little scandalously. I like it. Why the fuck not? I'm 38. I have survived multiple car accidents, being stabbed, shot, ran over, cancer. I got a laundry list. Okay? I still got it. I'm going to flaunt it. I'm sorry, but it ain't for sale, and it ain't for your entertainment. I enjoy it. But that's just the way I see things. It just upsets me when people say that, you know, where automatically there's a sexual connotation. It doesn't have to be a sexual connotation. It's not how it works. One of my best friends, Heather, she works in the adult film entertainment industry. Lovely girl, love her to death. But the thing of it is I'm not a part of that. I choose not to be. So I have a little respect from that. So, let me see. DMK, you get used to it. I run an equality center. I run a support group in my area for the LGBTQIA people. And trust me, I get death threats on a regular basis. And like I said, I've been stabbed, shot, ran over, drowned, and I'm still here. Motherfucker, if you're going to try to kill me, please make sure I'm all the way dead, because otherwise I'm going to come back and make you my fucking bitch. Just saying. But, yeah, rude people don't bother me, because I just get right back in their nasty little faces. Because that's life, you know? Their problem is that they saw something, they clicked on it and go, oh my goodness, here's a beautiful woman, and oh my goodness, she has a penis. Some women have penises. Get over it. Some women have vaginas. Or some men have vaginas, let's put it that way. You know, gender doesn't annotate sexuality. Gender isn't necessarily based on biology, chemistry, hormones, or physiology. I mean, hell, there's AIS syndrome out there. Who knows what AIS syndrome is? Basically, it means you have the genetic markers for one gender, but physically appears the other. It's amazing. It's rumored, granted, not true. Maybe not true. But it's rumored that Jamie Lee Curtis may actually suffer from AIS. She adopted her kids. She was a Hollywood starlet, and she may have, chromosomes that show her as a man. And a lot of people don't know that. And that's the thing. How many people in the world can say they've had their chromosomes tested? Not many. And I love it when people love to bring up the whole chromosomes thing. So I'm like, honey, have you had your chromosomes tested? I don't think so. And it's very rare that you would. Unless you have some sort of genetic anomaly where basically you need to have your chromosomes tested. Then, of course, you have the children of Jivadishis. A lot of people, such as the children of Jivadishis, basically don't know about this. Basically, these are children that are born genetically and biologically female. And on the onset of puberty, they grow penises and their chromosome markers change. Why is that? How is that? Defies the laws that you guys set forth of the gender binary. And then one final argument I always give to people. All males, for example, all embryos, let's just leave it that way, all embryos are created as female. Believe it or not, female is the designation. Only during the introduction of certain hormones and certain conditions are met does one become a male. So in reality, all you guys out there who are like, ooh, transgender people, you guys technically are transgender. You started your life out as a female. Just saying. So that's how it is. Honey child, I have been dead. I have a very well and huge concept of God. I choose not to define it. Because the problem, Andrew, is when there is a definition of things, you limit its power. You take away from it. And that's the thing. And I'll tell you, having been dead and seen the other side, I didn't see anything that proved anyone right, and I didn't see anything that proved anybody wrong. It's something you're going to have to face one day yourself. So I'm not going to get into theology with you, hon, because I can quote some things and blow your mind all day long. But I'd rather not. I'd rather make friends than enemies. Exactly. Yeah, DMK, you're right. We all do start off as female in the womb. It just takes certain hormones, certain conditions to be met, to boom, to become male. Or at least the concept of male. Because there's a difference between gender, sexuality, and identity. Identity is up here. Everybody's born given a gender. Everybody's born given a religion. Everybody's born given a name. We're all living underneath somebody's fictional concept as to who we should be. I am brave. Honey child, I've been stabbed, shot, ran over, and I'm trying to change the world and make it a little bit better and easier for the next person. And if something bad happens to me in the process of doing that, I've done rather well. I'm trying to remember the quote, but it's the one about how a person is truly a shepherd when he's watching out for, the lost children and, watching out for his brothers. He's truly his brother's keeper and shepherd of lost children. That has always kind of stuck with me. D-da-lo. Okay. Honey child, I wouldn't have any need to. You seem to be doing all right. I was 10 or younger, mid to late 80s, Sunday school. Yeah, well, I've also taken religion, philosophy, things of that nature in college. A lot of Eastern philosophy, a lot of studies, things that are very complex and complicated. Hell, growing up, when I was in high school, my best friend's father, he basically was a reverend, and we would honestly have debates, and there'd be days where he's like, Sasha, you got a point. Courtney, if you want attention that bad, perhaps offer a question, an idea, an original thought. Please try. No. See, you spelled it wrong. It's not an F, it's an R. It's rock! And it's not a tranny. A tranny is basically a car, and it's a derogatory terminology. As a car part. Not a transmission for your vehicle to get it from point to bay. So, yeah. Anyway. And if women can marry men, yeah. Oh, you mean marry women? Because women can marry men all day long, and men marry women. It happens. Trust me. Religion's a complicated thing. I basically... Triple K-E-K. Good question. Oh, by the way, Mad something or other. I'm trying to remember his name. I'm going to go scroll up and find you. Mad Spark, thank you for subbing. I appreciate it. Check it out. No, transvestite's not the right terminology. Trump the mad. Shot was basically somebody who tried to mug me. And wrong place, wrong time. Same way I got this scar. Love the clubs, love going out. Ironic, the way I got this scar is that I was on my way to the ATM. You figure if you're going to mug somebody, you're going to mug them on their way from the ATM, not to. So yeah. Stabbing was a hilarious situation. Basically, again, at a bar, at a club, I guess somebody was trying to stab somebody else, and I just happened to walk right across and into the line of that accidentally, and I'm the one who got poked. No, Trump the Mad King, we're not talking about that. Okay? Unless you're fucking me, feeding me, or financing me, what's in between my legs is none of your business. Chris, I actually got a video on that I'm talking about that. No, it does not make you gay. Now, it would if, for example, you identified as female and she identifies as female, then yeah. But if the person identifies as, since I identify as female, and somebody who is with me identifies as male, it's a heterosexual relationship. But the problem of it is I'm pansexual, so I don't really see gender. I've dated men, I've dated women. Like I said, I have kids. So, yeah. Unfortunately, I don't speak French. I know enough. I think it says Magic the Gathering, and I can't remember the rest. It's been a while. Well, my voice can be really low. Hi, how are you doing? I'm doing alright, Terminator. I'm doing okay. Gabe, really, you asked that twice. You are able to ban these people being polite. Well, I know. It doesn't bug me. I mean, DMK, I appreciate that you're watching out and being sympathetic, but in order to ban them, I'd have to go online, I'd have to do all this other mess. But what it does is it shows them for what they are. When somebody hates on you, it reflects more on them than it does on you. So I'd rather let them show what kind of people they really are. It shows the ugliness of humanity. I may not be pretty myself, but at least I'm good on the inside. Few of these people can barely say the same. Thank you, Dunn. Yeah. People are always going to judge everybody else. I don't judge anybody. I love everybody equally. People are great. You guys have the capacity for great good. It's just that sometimes you guys lack the light to show you the way. Not to quote Superman or anything, but it's the truth. Well, Triple, that's kind of a double-edged question. I never really identified as male. Never. It took me years to figure it out, because growing up, they didn't have phrases for what this is, or how it works. You know, a lot of times there wasn't information out there. The only time I really started to see things that I could identify with was much later in life. It's pretty bad when you don't get to see people like who you are until you have to see the talk shows from the 80s and 90s, and you're like, wait a minute, this is interesting. Can do it from your phone in the app. Oh, really? Now that I didn't know. Let me see. Yeah, I'm trying to see how that works. But, yeah, I haven't figured it out. Can do it from your phone. Have you ever tried a feminine voice? Well, that's the thing, Chris. Number one, I used to be able to do one, but after so many years of testosterone, it becomes so much. And I'm not trying to trick or fool anybody either. I kind of like my voice, to be honest with you, because it's me. It's always been me. But the problem of it is that, you know, there's so many terrible fantasies out there. Going back to that whole porno comment that was out there. But the thing of it is that when it comes to trying to quote unquote pass, and I hate that terminology because I'll be honest with you, I see women all the time that don't meet the quote unquote standard feminine appearance. Me, if I go out without my wig, my makeup done, and wearing sweatpants, I'm going to get sirred all day long. And that's the real problem. A real woman, after a long day of work, and I don't mean real as in just simplifying terms for you all, but a biological, you know, cisgender woman, basically when she goes home from work, takes off her bras and slips into sweats, she's still a woman. I'm still a woman too. It's just the fact that, you know, there's always this guideline of appearance, and I think that's so stupid. A woman should sound a certain way. A woman should act a certain way. Da 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 da. But it's so funny. The guys who think that are the same one to pick on that little skinny kid who can't play baseball or football and call him a sissy. Think about that a second. You know, you can judge this person for not being feminine enough, and then pick on somebody for being too effeminate, even though, yeah, humans confuse me. So I come to the realization, well, that's on you, DMK, and that's fine. Play. I'm not playing any of the songs because I don't like that. Gabe, I suggest you do some reading. I'm not going to try to explain it to you. I am a woman. I just happen to be a transgender woman. Some women are born with penises. Some with vaginas. It's not hard. Can you identify? Numbs, really? Seriously. Think. People were just silly. Everyone, this is just a miserable. No, Gabe, no. I'm pretty happy and content when I was trying to live a life that my entire life. But, you know, that's just how the world works. So let's see. Well, thanks, Nums. I appreciate that. I really do. Some people need to. It's good to laugh and it's good to make jokes, but I help with with a suicide line for the transgender community as well as the LGBTQIA community. Sometimes a joke isn't a joke. You know, sometimes a cigar isn't just a cigar. The day you have to talk somebody down from an edge from killing themselves, then maybe you'll think a little bit more about the joke. It's not exactly easy. I volunteer once every other week for 8 hours, and it's not pleasant. So if I seem a bit hostile when it comes to jokes like that, it is. I can watch a special about it. Right, but Eddie, see, this isn't gay. I am a transgender woman. I identify as a woman. Happens to be I am pansexual, so gender to me is kind of whatever. If you're a good person, you're a good person, and I can usually get along with you, and sometimes it can become romantic. Gender not under the equation. But the kicker of it is that, you know, to be gay, one person has to identify as one sex, and the other person has to identify as the same sex. That's how it works. But that's the funny thing, Gabe. See, I don't ever say I was born in the wrong body. You know, the powers that be that exist out there, they give you challenges that they know you can handle. And honey child, I've handled this challenge for a long ass time. I'm stronger and I'm tougher than most people you ever meet. Zack Stone, I've been dead. And you know what? It didn't suit me. Yeah, if I could figure out how to do that from this app, I would be all over that. But, yeah, I have no clue. No, Zach, this isn't that kind of thing. Well, that's the thing, the Reels Baller, and we were just talking about this, and I know a lot of people were late joining. Have you ever heard of AIS syndrome? It means you genetically appear as one gender, but genetically, but physically you appear as the other. Jamie Lee Curtis, going back to that, suffers from AIS syndrome, has male chromosomes. Weird, huh? And then, on top of that, you've got the children of Jiva who appear female. And then, on the onset of puberty, they become male. And they're genetically female at the beginning, and become male genetically later. How? Why? On top of that, again, going back to the whole thing about embryos, every embryo is inherently female. It only takes certain hormones, certain chemicals and conditions met to be male. So in reality, if you identify as male, the real whatever the hell that is, if you identify as male, that means you were formerly formerly female. That means you're technically transgender. I hate to say it. Welcome to the club. Dues are due every Tuesday. The MK, sometimes arguing with these people, it is what it is. You're going to have hate. And it just goes to show you that the majority of the people on PlayStation Network can be haters and hateful and nasty. And it makes me woe for their children. You identify as a human. Yeah, the way you act is kind of subhuman. Cro-Magnon, even. Primordial ooze level. Zach, no sense in trying to stand up and fight for these people. That's the thing. They always harp on a single book. That's the problem with the world. These people need more books. Do some reading. They have a book. He has a book. Y'all need more books. Might I suggest some reading on string theory? Interesting read. Quantum physics. Interesting stuff. But that might blow your little minds. Well, that's the thing, DMK. It always cracks me up when people go out and try to, champion ecological things. It's always, save the whales, save this, climate change. Nobody really focuses on the real issue. It's one of the few times that humanity should be selfish, is the fact that by changing our environment, by polluting the hell out of it, the only people we're damaging is ourselves. Granted, yes, it's killing off other species, and that sucks. But let's be frank, if you were to nuke the whole planet tomorrow, life would inherently find a way. Always does. Granted, it may not be the same way that we recognize it, but radiation, UV rays, and the rest promote mutation and other things. It would be very different than the world we know now. For example, think about when, if you've ever gotten into archaeology or any study of paleontology, you'll know that some of the first life forms were plants. And they gave off oxygen as a waste. The original atmosphere on Earth wasn't oxygen-based. And so, essentially, these plants just grew and grew and grew, and pretty much the oxygen content was a pollutant. It was killing off other species. But other species evolved to breathe it. That's the way the world works. I mean, granted, everybody worries about all this pollution getting into the environment from Fukushima and things of that nature. The reality is we've been sucking up raddies for years, since the 40s, since the 50s, since the atomic tests in Polynesia. Yeah, this world will survive. We may not, but this world will survive and continue on. People are getting so wicked. Yeah, wicked clowns. We never die. No, I'm not busting into ICP. Don't get too excited. My brother happens to love ICP. You're a reptilian? Lovely. Well, at least somebody watches Ancient Aliens. Kudos to you. I just find it entertaining and great fodder for terrible movies. Yeah, DMK. Whoop, whoop, fam. Fucking A right. Damn. Straight up. You know, I love their older stuff. I wasn't feeling Mighty Death Pop. I don't know why. Love Twisted. I know they're on a completely different label now, but they're still family. Really upset that the DC March got canceled. I would have been there waving my flag all day long. I don't know. It's bad enough I got to wait till June to go to a march. Women's March was interesting, but some of the people pissed me off because it's like, look, you know, there are certain things that we need to be doing now instead of what we are doing. There's better ways to protest. There's better ways to make the world change. But yeah, so what's your favorite track, DMK? Me, I always love Juggalo Homies. That's just me. That's like my favorite of all songs. Reminds me of a group of people I used to hang out with. Trust me, we'd get smoked up. We'd have all kinds of stuff. It was wonderful. Yeah, let's go all the way. Twisted, I switched to keep it horror. Yep, they do keep it horrorcore. I love, I used to listen to Esham, Ghetto Boys back in the day. Yeah, again, I'm dating myself a little bit. Things of that nature. But they do keep it horrorcore. Esham and Ghetto Boys, they go way back. I love that stuff. I think it's funny because I think Esham now is on Psychopathic Records. I'm not 100% certain, but I believe so. Oh, boo-hoo, I'm crying, Zach. Oh, because that's what you want to see, right? See, you're not going to break me. You know? Anytime you're feeling squirrely and you want to step up, by all means, punk step up to get smacked down. Freemason, yeah, lovely, lovely handle. Age, old as fuck. I'm 38. I'm pushing 40. How about you, DMK? Well, that's one way of asking it, Lazy Fish. See, that's the problem with being transgender. A lot of people don't understand that you can't just go out and get the surgery. If you try to do it stateside, there's years of shit that you've got to go through before you can get, you know, the approval to do this. It's funny because I can go out and get another tattoo and nobody gives two fucks. Even though I know this shit's permanent. Yeah, I can get it lasered off, things of that nature. You can also get surgeries reversed too. But the thing of it is that there's the cost aspect. There's the time aspect. I survived fucking cancer. Shit, time is one of those things that I don't have in plenty of abundance. It's just one of those things. Granted, if I ever raise the funds, yeah, make a nice 10K somewhere, fucking A, I will go to the Philippines, I will go to Thailand, I will go ahead and have everything done, because it's cheaper there, there's none of the red fucking tape. The only problem I may have is when I try to get back in the country with some extra packages, or lack thereof. But yeah, it's not as cheap or as easy as TV would lead you to believe. We all don't have Caitlyn Jenner money where we can just throw that money out like that. And thanks to all kinds of wonderful healthcare reform, it's not getting any cheaper on that aspect either. Well, you do that, Freemason. I've had a long talk with Sony, because the thing of it is that by doing that, it's hate speech. You're basically infringing on my, First Amendment right. And so that kind of puts you in a legal, actionable position. But by all means, please, do, because we were just talking about finances. Yeah, there's young kids. I have 3 of them myself. This doesn't affect them. And if Sony wants to take that stance, by all means. So, please, by all means, Go back to your stuncoder ways and doing what you need to. And trust me, we will handle you ourselves later. So DMK, where'd you disappear to? I don't see you chatting. Let's see what else we got going on here. No, not really. Actually, they love me more than anybody else. But that's just how life is. Oh, you're 38 as well too, DMK. And I noticed that you changed your emblem, or was it always? And now I think about it, didn't DMK like one of the bands? Or is my brain just a little twisted at the moment? I'm trying to remember. Oh, boo-hoo. Good luck with that, because YouTube don't give a fuck either. So. Hey, Michael Whitlock! Pleasure to meet you. LD Tatum, can you bring up a complaint? Sure, by all means, complain away, because everybody else is. Oh, poor Zach. The Chloe chicken. Yeah, well, Chloe, I can sit here and deal with the hate, but it doesn't bug me. Yep, indeed, DMK. Yeah, it's a pleasure to meet you too, Michael. What's California treating you like? It's what, 9 there? Something of that nature? I used to hang out a lot out toward Las Vegas, Nevada back in the day, and around Hollywood a good bit too. I don't know if the Chicken and Waffles place is still around, but that place was awesome. You want to go see like the stars, that was the place to go, especially in the middle of the night. You go down there and check it out. How far in... Well, see, that's the problem. You're forgetting some letters there, LD. I'm pretty damn far. LGBTQIA community, because you're forgetting some people. Personally, I prefer the terminology GSD, which stands for Gender and Sexual Diversity. Granted, it's not as catchy as LGBT, because it hasn't been around as long, but at least with GSD, it's a little bit more inclusive than a lot of the groups that you'll find. Good, good. It's treating you well. That's good to hear. What's the weather like out there? Any good new game pickups, anybody? Ernest? No, we don't do that, Ernest. Again, we have the internet for more than video games. Porn, Google.com, you can find anything that you want. Or Chatterbait. I love the name, Ernest. I ain't heard that name in a while. Shit, now I'm trying to think of it. Damn it, Ernest. Ernest P. Worrell. Good shit from back in the day. Let's see. Nuh-uh, 59 degree Fahrenheit, clear tomorrow, sunny. Well, that's nice. Yeah, weather here's been kind of Fruit Loopy. We will sometimes get snow, and then a couple days later it'll be perfect spring, and then it'll be snow again, and I've been debating on when I should take my winter stuff back up into the attic. It's like, you know, I love the fact that I can continually wear my sweater dresses because, of course, you know, weather's been lovely for it recently. Yeah, it's just a debate when basically. Do you play many PS4 games? Yeah, I do, actually. I basically play, you know, I play Fallout 4. That's been a big repeat for me. Big and livid discussion on Borderlands. I'm excited about Borderlands 3. Thinking about trying to pick back up and play Borderlands. Some emotional baggage with that. Excuse me. Whew, too much Fireball today. But anyways, yeah, I love that game. I love some other stuff too. Torment Tides of Namara. Hey, DJ Doc's videos! I know you! Hi from DC. Love your boots. Yeah, I know, right? These were like $15. They were originally $60 at Target. Went there, they had a sale. I figured treat yourself, you know what I mean? Dark Souls is life. Yes, I love Dark Souls. Awesome. Yeah, I know you. There's no denying that. Been on here for an hour now. Holy shit. I don't even know what time it is on the coast. Let me see. I'm taking a look, guys. Don't ignore me. Ba. In fact, while I'm on here, let's see what we can do to ban some people. Shall we? Oop, all kinds of shit. Look. Oh, yeah. I think Courtney just gave that out. So. Peggy Hill feet. Yeah, well, you know, I'm a size 9. Believe it or not, size 9 is a natural women's shoe size. Funny story about that. 6 a.m., yeah. No, actually I don't. It's not about special treatment, LD. It's about equal rights. The ability to marry who you love. The ability to walk down the street without somebody being an asshole. The ability to basically identify as how you want and not get murdered for it and somebody getting away with just a pat on the back. That's all we're asking for. Just because somebody's asking for rights doesn't mean you get less rights. You know, it's like bitching at people who get food stamps. I'm sorry that they're poor. Do you want food stamps too, honey child? Because if you're doing better than somebody else, you kind of don't need them, do you? If you already have those rights, you don't need more because of it. And the problem of it is there's a lot of issues with the rights, you know, out there. You just can't walk into a DMV and change your driver's license. You can't just change your birth certificate. You can't just do all this other stuff. There's all kinds of red tape. And nobody's asking for special privilege. Sorry, not sorry. You're a paramedic. Well, good. That is awesome. Thank you, thank you, thank you. People do overdo it. Exactly. And that's the problem. I'm not asking for anything special. I'm just asking for the same rights as everybody else. And the rights to live. That's why I help with the support line. You know, there's kids that get so upset. And I'll tell you, after I'm done with an hour of volunteering on the support line, I'm a broken person because, you know, I don't know if I did enough or if I was good enough or because everything's anonymous. And yeah, it's a kicker. Those are the days you won't see me online at all. My friends won't see me on Facebook because I need that hour to chill. Stoner Mike, we've kind of discussed this at the beginning. Once it's live on YouTube, you can go back, rewatch the video, maybe learn something new. But I'm a woman. I'm a transgender woman. Just so happens I was born with a penis. Some women are. That's life. Some women are born with vaginas. Some men are born with vaginas. It happens. There's gender, identity, and sexuality. And not all three of those things coalesce. Aye, indeed, but that's the thing. People don't understand basic human rights anymore. It's the old philosophy. When you come from privilege, you know, basically somebody else asking for rights does seem like an inconvenience. When you're 12, maybe, Stoner, but in the reality of the situation, we don't live in a binary. This isn't the Matrix. Me existing isn't shutting down and making the machines come up and terminate mankind. I'm sorry. There's more to life than black and white. Some things are painted in shades gray. There's more than life than male and female. black, white, Christian, Muslim. There's more than a binary out there. And maybe if you opened your mind and tried to understand that a little bit, you might do a little bit better. You're missing an apostrophe, but, you know, whatever. Ernest, again, dude, seriously. Go get your buddy. Go get that ice cream you used to advertise for. Hit up Chatterbait, you'll be alright. We're going to call the RCMP and his apartment manager. You know, public access, I actually was actually born in Texas. Don't live there now. I am ex-military. My parents were military, so we moved around a lot. I was born in Texas, but outside of that, I've been all over. Public Access Channel 66. I gotta admit, I do like the name, though. No, I'm not Canadian. And I'm pan. Pan. P-A-N. Pansexual. I know. It's confusing. It goes outside of the vanilla scope of LGBT. Oh, yeah, well, that's cool. Yeah, I was born outside of Belton, Texas. Hey, public. Oh, cool. Nah, thanks. I'm good. I'm just here to talk about games and things of that nature. Yeah, I agree, DJ. It's gotten interesting in here. I'm just trying to figure out how to do this app. Bear with me here. Oh, I know what to do. Hey, DMK. Yeah, people come here to hate, but you know what? I'm getting the views. At the end of the day, I'm going to have like a ton of people on YouTube. I probably already have a ton of viewers at the moment because people keep tuning in. And you know what? That goes to my ad revenue. The worst thing you can do is not listen or not watch. How simple is that? But, you know, people and how they are. So, let me take a look here. Live stream Q&A. And let's see what we have. Block. Remove. Block. Remove. Hey, DMK, you still want to be a moderator? I know you do. Boom, you're moderated. I hope you're on YouTube. Hey, DJ, you want to be a moderator? I know you do. I'm going to let you guys have fun at this. You watch it on YouTube, DJ? Because if you are, it's a-coming. Bye, Stoner Mike. Bye, LD. Bye, Courtney. Are we learning? I hope we are. Let's see. Step on up, winner, winner, chicken dinner. All by myself? Oh, Courtney, I somehow doubt that. I'm never by myself. Bye, Fornicus. Oh, I'm not getting rid of you, DMK. You're good. You know what the best part of YouTube is it shows me their channels too. So I can report their shit. Lame? Aw, bye King Killer. This is fun. Nope. I've so far modded DMK and DJ because they both, well, DJ I know personally. But yeah, if you behave yourself, yacht. But DJ I know personally, DMK seems to be alright in my book. So that takes care of some idiots. Well, that's cool, public access. That's awesome. Yeah, I didn't grow up there. It's basically the place where I was born. So, it is what it is. Rainbow Six Siege is pretty damn great, in your opinion. What makes you think that, Rainbow Six? Belton, Texas is what I was born in. I didn't really get to know it because we moved to Oklahoma soon after. I don't really have an accent. If I have, I haven't really noticed. Francois, you get one warning. One. And I'm just letting you know those are a porn term. So DMK, DJ, you don't have to block them just yet. But anyway. No. That is a pornography term. Good old me, I try, Chloe, I try, but you know how people are. They are what they are. It is the shit. Best game Ubisoft have. Well, the thing with Ubisoft is do they make anything good anymore? I mean, let's be honest. Half the stuff is basically flawed. Gene, you get a warning as well. Everybody gets a warning. And yes, I am a transgender woman. Not what the fuck, not a she-male, not a tranny, not a transvestite, not a transsexual. I'm transgender. My pronouns are she, her, hers. Easy, concise. Everybody's a little bit of a dumbass. Star Wars, you're this close to getting blocked. Just saying. My moderators have got some major moderation power at the moment. And I don't want to have to go that route. I don't mind haters on occasion, because sometimes they can make things interesting. But I feel like I should be getting some ad revenue from Chatterbait at the moment, because I keep seeing these people, show me your tits, I want to see up the skirt. And to me it's like, go to Chatterbait. Well, that's good public access. I missed the first part, Reneps or whatever you say. Okay, Gene, we're going to put this to you quite simply and mildly. I do have a cat. Her name's Chris. She is running around the house. But the thing of it is that what's between my legs, unless you're feeding me, fucking me, financing me, or we're friendly, is none of your goddamn business. Just saying. But no, if you must know, I haven't been cut. The surgery is not cheap. If you want to, I do have a Patreon. You're more than welcome to donate and fund all kinds of wonderful fun stuff for me. Yeah, it is a complicated one. I hate the term, personally. It's not like a term I can, that people can take back. That I don't foresee, like, people from my community using it to acknowledge one another. Even though it kind of cracks me up. Yo, what up, my tranny? How's it hanging, my tranny? I don't see that flying any day now. But it is something that people from our community have basically adopted. I know that there was a book recently put out about it. But it's not my cup of tea. I don't like the term, and it's not my term. The yacht, I'm trying to understand that last paragraph. okay. So you're worried about family and friends and things of that nature. Um, yeah, it is rude. It is rude. And I don't like it because it comes from, like, the phrase she-male. I hate she-male. I hate that. It comes from the porn industry. It's, yeah. You know, just because there's transgender people in the porn industry doesn't mean that we're all in the porn industry. Trust me, there's a lot of heterosexual cisgender male and females in the porn industry, and I don't think y'all do porno. And if you do, I don't want to know about it. Yeah, it is lazy terminology. I agree. It's straight up. It's an oversimplification. In fact, you know, I just loathe the word. It's more appropriate for an auto shop than it is, for example, out in public. At least with an auto shop, it is what it is. Damn, we got a lot of viewers and a lot of comments. Yeah, I have no problem with the adult industry. Let me rephrase that. One of my best friends, whom I love dearly, Nadia White, she is in the industry, and she's a great woman. I love her to death. Yeah, she is in the industry. She does adult entertainment. You know, I wish she'd hang out more. Nadia, if you're watching, you need to hang out more. Seriously, girl. I know you've got some things in your life where you're busy. I get that. We all do. But hey, Cards Against Humanity and some cheesecake some night. Let's get on that. Yeah, they do come in showing their closet levels. Mr. Tyson. And are you squeaky? Are you squeaky, Mike? Squeaky? Go ahead, fight. But anyways, Mr. Tyson, I am a woman. I'm what's known as a transgender woman. Basically, simply put, as I've been saying to everybody, some women are born with penises. Some women are born with vagina. Some men are born with penises, even though sometimes some of the men I know, yeah, you can barely call it a penis. And some men are born with vaginas. That's just the way it is. There's a difference between what's up here, what's down here, and who you're doing it with. Sexuality, identity, and gender are many different things. Keep in mind, we don't live in a binary world. Not everybody's black or white. Not everybody's male or female. Not everybody's Muslim or Christian. I know it's a hard thing to understand because when you're born, you're given this piece of paper that says, by the way, you're male, and your name is Doug. Duh. And that's supposed to define your life. No. You're even given a number at birth, for Christ's sakes. Hell, I remember when I was a kid, I didn't have that social security number forever. Again, carbon dating myself a little bit here. No, I'm not in Oklahoma. Oklahoma was a place that I grew up for a little bit. I've lived in pretty much every 50 state except Hawaii. I visited it once. But yeah, by the time I was done with grade school, from the point that I started school until grade school, I was out of 20, 30 different schools because my family moved that much. So yeah, I always heard everybody, hey, I was born in Texas. My family actually comes from Clear Spring, Maryland. But in reality, I'm kind of a melting pot of everything. Oh, you leaving us, Doc? Alright. Well, AK-49, I identify as a woman every day. And my clothes, because I am a woman, are women's clothes. Do I do my hair and makeup every day? No. Do you do your hair and makeup every day if you're a woman? No. Does it make you any less of a woman when you don't do your hair and makeup? If you wear sweatpants, does it make you less of a woman? Think about it. Don't touch blood. He not a troll. Exactly. It's like I always say, you know, when everybody's like, oh, you're wearing girls' clothes. I'm like, well, yeah, I am a girl. And number two, they're not really girls' clothes, they're my clothes. I bought them. I paid for them. I have the receipt somewhere. There were some articles that that belonged to other people ages and ages and ages ago that I happened to get as hand-me-downs, but, you know, and goodwill, but suffice to say it is what it is. Yep, you get one warning, just like Spider-Man. You get just one. Everybody gets a webbing. And sometimes that webbing's a little bit more kinkier than most. What can I say? Mr. Gert, you're lost. This is the PlayStation Network, where if you're watching on YouTube, YouTube is this place where you can find videos and all kinds of information. Just recently did a review on Leprechaun 2. Suggest you check it out. What age did I start dressing like that? Well, number one, this is how I identify. If you're talking about when I was trying to figure it all out, I remember experimenting as far back as memory serves me. Trying to figure out who I was and where I belong. Hell, I have stories and history that I could spit at you all day, some embarrassing ones at that. Hell, I loved it, because you gotta figure, my father was a military man, so obviously he wouldn't have understood this, so I had to do a lot of sneaking around. And of course I wasn't able to be open with my sexuality. I always found, you know, I love people. I can't really describe it. I don't really see men. I don't really see women. I see people. And I like that personality. Granted, sometimes I suck at judging personalities. Hence why I've been engaged more times than I care to count. Been divorced. And yeah, it's just life. Hence why I have kids. You know, which is one of the good things that I think has come out of this whole situation is if I did transition, even though modern medicine, you know, even though I don't foresee modern medicine in my time allowing people to get pregnant that come from my community, but I'm glad that I have kids already. I think I'm trying to oversimplify it. But yeah, so I'm glad the path that I've taken, because I wouldn't be who I am now, I wouldn't have my kids, things of that nature. You can't really see, well, see, that's the thing, if I get closer, is that better? Are we happy? Or are we just trying to get cleavage? Because you just got some. And Freemason, good luck with that, because I still see I'm on YouTube. I wonder how the Freemasons feel about you. I can hit up my friend who does reviews, another horror host who's with the Freemason. We can look you up and pretty much get you off the board if you're not one of the Masons. Or, simply put, we can have other interesting things happen to you. You were just curious. Yeah, my makeup is actually surprisingly well done today, because I actually got up, I want to say around noon, and did this. I've never really played around much with a primer, or like a foundation primer. It was great. I didn't think it would last as long as it did. I'm using like a Color Stay from Color Stay from CoverGirl. Basically, it's a like 3-in-1 foundation on top of the primer, and it makes my day. And then, of course, working now with a warehouse for a place that supplies makeup, I get all kinds of free shit now. It is so awesome. I'm waiting until I'm official with the company, and then I'll even get discounts at the store and everything else. I'm kind of excited. So who else in here is Pan? Now me, I'm Pan, and I try to explain to people what it means. It's kind of hard to explain because you don't really see gender. You see people, and considering my exes and my ex-wife, I'm pansexual with a bad judge of character, which doesn't work out, to say the least. Hey, Toronto! T. Latina, how's it going? Well, it's not so much cheaper, DJ Doc. Sometimes I get boxes of the damages where I'm getting free shit, and that is the coolest stuff. Nice classic Jazz X Skilla. Thoughts on Trump? This is a very interesting subject, and I figure I would go ahead and address it because it's a good question. Believe it or not, in shock and surprise, I don't like the man, but because of him, there's a lot of things that are changing with the world as a whole. People are suddenly becoming woke, and I love that, because people were like, holy shit, the world's a bad place, and we let it get that way. At the end of the day, you know, most people used to see elections as, I'll just vote for whoever, and it's their business and it's their job. I'm finally seeing people involved now. I'm seeing marches, I'm seeing movement, I'm seeing people get into politics. The best way I can describe it is it's like catching a bad disease, and you're sick as a dog. And yeah, the country's worse for wear for it. But at the end of the day, your immunities are going to get built up. You're going to come back twice as strong and twice as hard. And that's the thing. People are realizing, shit, we've given away our power for years and years and years, and just let other people take care of the problem. And now we're starting to realize, wait a minute, these people in power aren't the ones that are best suited for the job. And so as a result, do I see him as a negative thing? I don't like him. I don't like his politics. I don't like his agenda. But I do like the way that it's made the American people wake up and realize, time to take our power back. Time for us to make a stand. Time for us to change the way we see things. And that is perhaps the only positivity. For him being such a nasty man, it's making people better. Again, the analogy of a disease. Oh, you sub. Thank you, DMK. Have ever smoked weed? Huh. I wonder, have I ever smoked weed? Please, son, I have smoked a lot of weed. Fed wheat brownies back in my day. Have basically done everything from psychosyllabus on down. LSD, good blotter acid when it was still blotter acid. Hell, I remember when you could go to GNC and get all of the makings for X. Like, literally, you could make a bathtub full of ecstasy. Shit, back in college, that's how you could pay for a whole evening of drinking. Nowadays, you're a drug kingpin. But back then, when I came from it, shit, nobody knew what that shit was. And hell, you could get good LSD, a little bit of X, and bam, candy flipping was the shit. Oh, bonjour. But, no, like, yeah, let me put it this way, drugs aren't like they were now. I'm hoping with all of my health issues and stuff, with them getting a dispensary here in town, that basically, you know, maybe I'll get some good stuff with, you know, my own cancer problems and everything else. Am I still reviewing films? Honey child, yes, I review films constantly. Latest review was Leprechaun. Alien, I just did as well, so I did a review on Alien. Alien 2, spoiler, yes, I'm going to do a review on Alien 2. Not Aliens, Alien 2, there was an unofficial sequel, that's coming up. Obviously I'm going to finish off the rest of the Aliens, things of that nature. Yeah, bye, whatever, Priest Holmes. Good luck with that. PA, Pennsylvania. The wonderful state of Pennsylvania. No, I have cancer. Survivor now, 5 years. Had a tumor removed from down here. It's kind of funny because I joke with my one friend all the time about like her C-section scar. So that was removed. That was taken care of. Have a tumor upstairs. Basically, I've been on chemo. It's in regression. So yeah, I'm glad that that's in regression because they can't operate too close to the brainstem. Yeah, it's brainstem glioma, something of that nature. It causes a lot of pressure. It's why I can't drive. I actually have blackouts. It caused some pressure, some hemorrhaging, you know, bruising. You know, I'm lucky I can maintain a sentence. I have blackouts like, I'd say once every other week now. Used to be I had them every other day, but thanks to medicine like Keppra and Lyrica, they're starting to get things back in order, and I'm going to come back twice as tough. I mean, granted, yes, you can't regenerate certain neurological things, but that's life. But hey, the best part of it is because of all this, my REM cycle's fucked up. So I don't need as much sleep. Maybe 3-4 hours tops on a regular basis. And even then, I can go sometimes days without sleep. I mean, granted, I feel run down, but yeah. And basically, you know, with the stomach tumor, it's kind of funny. It's like I got a tummy tuck. So I don't eat as much. I've actually been told that I've got to watch what... Skookum, do we know each other from something? I'm just curious. Because you act like you may know some of my history. Hit me up. I'm curious. But, you know, it is what it is. And it's not something I like to talk about. Because I don't like people to, you know, pity me. You know, because I have blackouts. Because there's complications in life. I don't like, you know, people to look down on me because of it. That's one of those things. Because I've always been a tough old bird. Like I said, stabbed, shot, ran over, things of that nature. You must be sick a lot from little sleep. Yeah, on occasion. Oh, you've watched my stream before? Well, welcome back. I'm sorry I didn't catch the last time. Yeah, sometimes I don't like to get into those issues because I'd rather have fun. I'd rather talk. I'd rather relate. Things of that nature. I even have 3 kids. I know you guys, for those who watch the YouTube channel, my oldest son, Elijah, I call him Stink all the time because he loves Legend of Zelda and it annoys him because anytime we start a file, I name the character Stink. But the thing of it is,